Hello and welcome to the SBR BTCC Legends Series, brought to you in association with BTCC Blueprints and Paul Welsh Groundwork and Construction. We thank you guys for the sponsorship. Let's take a look at the grid for race 1 here. We've got Adam, followed by Ben, Lewis, then Jake, Rob, then Leon, Dean, Liam, Jeff, Chris, Sean, Rob, Ash and Andrew at the rear. Let's take a look at the highlights of race 1 here as we get to the grid nice and early here as we wait for the lights to go out, and Adam will lead us away off the grid. Looked like a very good start for him. Ben getting a very decent start as well, looking like he's going to challenge Adam into the first corner. Lewis already stalking away as he always is, or does seem to be on these tracks. And in this series, always looking to get that little bit extra, and he's already into the lead ahead of his teammate there. Is Adam going to play rig and try and hold everyone else up as Ben comes up alongside him? Looks like, is that Jake there already challenging for 4th/2nd? He's already up to 2nd. A nice switchback move there, but he's on the outside line now. And that's allowed Adam up the inside of Jake to take 2nd place back. Like I say, the rear gunner move seemed to be working very well for these boys here. As we look a little bit further down into the field and we pick up Jeff and the two Hondas here, which is Chris and Ash, fighting together early as well, with Sean, who again seems to be struggling a little bit in that Nissan. We come round to the fast sweeping left-hand corner. Is that Chris out a little bit wide there, just scraping the barrier and the Armco. Sorry, yes, that was Chris. We fly back up to the front of the field. We see Jake's now trying to go round the outside of Adam for 2nd place here, over the bridge, over the lake. And Jake will have the inside line here. Can he make it stick? The Subaru just getting that little bit more power there across the bridge somehow. Oddly, the Nissan's usually very quick. As we see the two Robs coming together. Just Rob Adams there just getting a full set a little bit wide, making contact with the Armco as Leon in the middle of the pack continues to fight. We go back up to the front, and yet again we've got Adam in front, and Ben's now going to have a look down the inside, and he's got 2nd place. He's managed to get ahead of Jake off camera. That's Adam a little bit wide. Now he's going to have to fight with Jake for 3rd as we come up towards the last corner of the first lap. And it looks like, well, Lewis has got a huge lead already at the moment. And it'll be interesting to see if Ben and Jake, who's now up into 3rd place, can do anything about this gap. As further down there, 3-4 wide across the track by the looks of it. And that looks like the two Robs yet again fighting together. Is that Leon fighting with them as well, I believe? Right there in the middle as they come around the first corner yet again. 1 lap in the books. Oh, one of the Hondas very, very wide there. And we pick up Andrew, who's picked up a few places off the back of the grid. And we see Rob and Jeff fighting. And now we've got Adam, who seems to be going backwards a little bit. Seems to be struggling that little bit in this first phase. With Leon battling away with Liam and Liam fighting together, and Leon's out that little bit wide. Unfortunately, that's going to give the place to Liam, and now Dean is going to have a look up the inside and thinks better of it. As we go back towards the front of the grid, and they are catching him. They are catching Lewis, with Dean and Jake maybe working together, even though in rival teams, maybe working together to try and reel Lewis back in and see if they can cut that advantage down that he's got in the early stages. Only 7 laps here because it's such a long circuit, probably one of the longest ones we'll see this season for the BTCC series. As we see Jake trying to put a bit of pressure on, but Lewis is definitely coming towards them. They've almost halved that gap within a lap. That is fantastic work by these two. And they've also managed to gap Adam, which is also going to help them. Now Jake's pulled towards the inside. He's got a better run in that Nissan GTR, and he's already ahead of Ben. Going into the braking zone of turn 1, he's well ahead of Ben, and now got his sights firmly set on rival Lewis from multiple series. as we flick back and catch a glimpse of Chris and Andrew fighting away. Chris just about getting the advantage over Andrew. Now Andrew's coming under attack from Rob, who's going to dive towards the inside on the brakes hard. Is he going to get the place? He's nearly there. He's just had to fall back, unfortunately, with Andrew getting the better run, but that Nissan's going to have the grunt down the straight now. And is that going to allow Rob to pull up alongside? Inside line as well. That's going to give him the place, surely ahead of Andrew. But they're side by side up over the crest of the hill and then back down the other side towards the bridge. They're still side by side, and Ash there just waiting, hoping. He's taking the inside line as well as Andrew's gone wide, so that's given Rob the place, and now Ash is up the inside. And Jeff's going to have a look, but Ash has had to drop back that little bit. And now we've got a battle for the lead. They have caught Lewis finally, and they've actually brought Adam along with them. They jump on board with Lewis over the bridge here in France. You can see Jake flicking to the inside there. Is he going to have the speed to come up alongside? As both of them, both Ben and Jake come either side of Lewis. He had to keep that in a straight line, certainly, to make sure that nothing went wrong. And Adam's now ahead of Ben, sorry. Adam's been pulled up into this one, and now Liam is also catching this group of 4 for the lead. This is going to end up as a fantastic battle again, as Ben's back up the inside of Adam, and Liam is a lot closer now as they come back across the line. That's Adam having a look towards the inside line of Ben, as Lewis sits in the slipstream of Jake. Jake's obviously going to have that run with the Nissan and the higher power down the main straight, and now actually pulling out a gap over Lewis, as we look and watch Adam having a real big fight with Dean right up the backside of him, and Liam just hoping, praying that something's going to go wrong. These two take each other out and he'll just inherit 3rd place. As we pop back and we have a look at Leon now fighting with Sean towards the mid-pack of the BTCC series, and Sean's going to have a bit of a run here towards Leon. Down towards the last corner, he pulls to the outside line, an unfavoured line, but it might just open it up a little bit for him coming on the exit. Leon spends a little bit of a penalty. Can Sean get that power down nice and early and get down the outside, as it will be for turn 1? He's already alongside, he's already passed. Look at the power of that Nissan. And then behind, we've got Rob and Chris fighting, just enough room for Rob down the side of the pit wall. Again, that Nissan power really helping down this start-finish straight over the 4-wheel drive cars. And he gets in front of Chris nice and early for turn 1. Fantastic there for Rob. And Chris still battling hard. He has not given up. He's back in the slipstream trying to get that extra toe. As we pop now and see Ben fighting Lewis this time for 2nd place. These 5 all very, very close. Liam just that little bit further back, hoping and waiting still. As Ben's looking right, looking left, then back into the slipstream for the left-hand corner. Running that little bit wide. That's going to allow Adam that little bit of extra run up towards the right-hander for the bridge. Over the crest of the hill, down into the braking zone. Jake spends a little bit of a penalty there in the lead. And then we've got Lewis, followed by Ben, followed by Adam, followed by Liam. Let's see if this order stays the same across the line as we approach the end of the bridge. Adam's having a look at the inside of Ben, and no, he's fallen back into line. It's hard to tell from the camera angle if it actually managed to make that one stick. Let's ride on board with Adam through the fast section just after the bridge, down towards the end of the lap. And you can see he's tucked right up into the slipstream here of Ben. Edging closer, just having a peek out. Is it possible? Is it possible? A nudge on the backside. Come on, Ben, get shifting, he says. I want to get in front of you and start challenging the lead too. As they are just starting to break away that little bit from Ben and Adam. About a similar sort of gap back to Liam from these two. And we flick back and we see Rob now running out a little bit wide, catching the Armco, teammates with Liam. A little bit of a nudge and a push on Rob as he comes past, and so does Chris. Chris always there, hunting away, as Rob has unfortunately lost a lot of momentum down the start-finish straight. And we go back to the lead pack, and Ben's actually managed to gap Adam that little bit and closed back up on Lewis. It seems to be that Ben's a little bit happier with the car at this stage of the race. He's going to go around the outside. He's going to certainly have a look at the outside line. Cuts him back. It's still going to put him on the outside line across the bridge, but he's able to drop back into the slipstream as Adam picks it back up as well and joins the battle for second place. Jake loving this and pulling away in first. So he's certainly going to give him a chance to ease away to victory as they come off the bridge, and Ben's still on the tailpipe there of Lewis. They come back over the crest of the hill here. Multiple elevation changes on this circuit as well. Such a fantastic track to be racing at. And now Ben's down the inside of Lewis. Fantastic. He's got the position. Can Lewis get the switch back? Not quite, but that has certainly brought Liam into this train of 4 cars now for second place. As they now go down towards the final corner, Adam and Lewis side by side now. As Adam just gets the better of Lewis, they run a little bit wide. Ben makes a slight bit of contact with the wall. Is that going to allow Adam, Lewis and Liam the chance to have a go into turn 1? That is Adam pulling towards the inside nice and early, having a go down into turn 1. Liam's up the inside of Lewis. Lewis unfortunately losing 3 places there in about the space of 4 or 5 corners. And now Liam's straight onto the tailpipe of Adam. Not going to let him go at all, and Lewis unfortunately falling back that little bit on the last couple of corners. So we've got Ben now in second from Adam, hotly followed by Liam, and then Lewis now in that eagle position, but he's already back on the backside of Liam, fighting away. He's not going to let this one go very easy. Unfortunately, Jake just scampering off into the lead. He is going to love this. Absolutely fantastic news for him, and it's just making that win that little bit easier as these 4 fight away amongst themselves. Adam certainly has found something this season in that Subaru as he pulls alongside Ben. Unfortunately going to have to give way that little bit. Is he? No, he's going to hang it on round the outside, almost NASCAR style. If he can keep himself there, that'll give him the inside line for the next corner into the braking zone. Ben just pulling up enough. And it looks like Lewis has also got round the outside there of Liam. Liam dropping back to 5th place now as we ride on board with Adam. Up the back end of Ben. A slight touch on the rear. Come on. Let's get moving. Maybe Adam's got the idea of pushing to try and catch Jake as Lewis goes round the outside. No team orders here. He goes, I'm going to tackle Ben and you can sit back and play the rear gunner. Even though he's decided there's no team orders. And now we've got Lewis up into 3rd place, and Liam's going to try down the inside there on the last lap. Unfortunately, that's gone all wrong. He's hit Ben. That's took Ben down, and it's left the 2 teammates fighting it out for second. Lewis ahead of Adam at the moment, as we see Jake coming round the final corner onto the start and finish straight to pick up victory in race number 1. As soon as he got into the front of the field, he just drove away. Who's going to be second? Let's have a look as we get both Adam and Lewis come across the line almost together. A slight touch, almost a bit of anger there coming out from Lewis, it seems. And then Ben, Liam and Sean, and these 2 fighting again mid-pack. Rob and Chris just bringing up the rest of the field, Ash and Panos. So let's take a look at the results. We have Jake from Lewis, from Adam, from Ben, from Sean, from Liam, and then Dean a little bit further back. Liam obviously there picking up a 5-second time penalty for causing that collision on the penultimate lap. The lower half of the field there we see Rob from Chris, from the other Rob, from Leon, from Andrew, from Ash, and then Jeff bringing up the rear of the field. Thank you very much for watching the highlights from race 1. We hope to see you soon for race 2.